Yo, so I see folks still losing their mind out here because of this. It's like a week old now. Last weekend, I believe, is when this happened. And it don't matter how long ago it was, because whenever this kid name is brought up, whenever you hear the words Travis Hunter followed by Leanna, his girl, or now his wife, it's always gonna be a thing, right? But he finally did it. He locked down old girl, his lady, his high school sweetheart, now his wife, which he said he was going to marry her. He finally did it. Yeah, him and his lady, they tied it up, and little homie went all out too, man. He don't play about her. Yeah, he don't play. He will drop a bag on her in a minute. He will not spare no expense, lavish, expensive. Hit her with a 350K G-Wagon for a wedding gift. And the part I'm stuck on is how folks are like they act like it's such of a jaw-dropping situation. Like they can't believe it. I'm looking at them like they're crazy because they already made it known he don't play about her. He don't care what has come out, what the narrative is, how much they talked about. He turned the comments off and said, "The hell with all y'all." You know what I'm saying? I mean, and technically it should be that way because nobody's going to know that person, like you. But, being the people on the outside who see the things they see, hear the things they hear, you can't help but to, you know what I mean? You can't help but to look at it the way you look at it. It's more folks who wish ill on their marriage, on this situation, than people who support it. But the main people that are most important is the family. But I'm not, which brings me to the family. You wonder. They got eyes, ears just like us. So when they have heard and seen things we've seen, it's researchable, right? You wonder, what do they think? How are they looking at it? In any other case, hell no. It ain't nothing wrong with going all out for your lady that's to be your wife. He got it like that. He's a ball player. Do your thing, pimping. But that's just it. That's the story. That's literally the theme of it right there. Folks been saying for how long, leave her alone. She don't mean you no good. And some folks are a little bit more emotionally invested. I do think some people genuinely have a concern for this brother, as crazy as it might sound. I think some people look at Travis and they look at him as like a younger brother or cousin or a friend, or, you know what I mean? Something like that, where it's like, he reminds me of someone who just does not see it. And you just got to tap him on his shoulder and give him some advice. Listen, bro, be mindful with this one. All right? Folks wasn't just saying this stuff out their ass, though. Because this stuff, the history is there. All their business out there. It always seemed like it's like this. Whenever you hear the name Travis Hunter, it's either because of his accolades, his accomplishments, or it has to do with his lady. And the narrative just always came off as Travis is a sucker. This girl is a floozy trying to drain and play on the little nigga. That's just what it's been. Nobody really knows what their household is like, But if what's been portrayed in public is any indication, and you can't help but to look at it sideways. Folks look at it like, yo, Travis might have made a mistake. He might have signed off on his demise financially. Not only are folks tripping off the fact that he got married to her, but the fact that he didn't even do the prenup thing. That's when folks hit him with a wow. Oh, wow. We talking about something that's the norm for all sports players. It's a little rare you hear about an athlete who did not do the prenup thing. It has nothing to do with even not trusting the person or disrespecting the person. It's, especially when you're 22 years old. The truth of the matter is anything can happen. That's good. You think you got you a real one, somebody who's going to ride out with you till old age and all of that stuff. 22 years old, I think at that age, you got more of a reason than ever to do the prenup thing. But accordingly, Travis Hunter did not think so. So because he didn't do that, folks is looking like, Now we really gonna find out what it is. Now we really gonna see if she genuinely is for this kid or not. Is she really about sticking him for his paper? Because if she is, she got that little nigga right where she want him. Unfortunately, he's like really out there now, totally unprotected. On the real, for some people, it's like Travis reminds you of that one person where maybe things have to happen that way for them to understand exactly who they've been dealing with. If everything what people think about the girl is true, of course, I don't know. I never met the girl a day in my life. I'm only going off the things that I've seen. And I do have my own personal opinion. I'm not emotionally charged up by the situation like some people are, man. You know what I mean? I don't know this kid. If you feel like he trusts her love or whatever the case, that's his situation. Maybe he knows something that we don't know, that trumps everything that we done seen thus far. And to be real with you, it always seemed like Travis always did things like in spite of the internet. It seemed like he always does things in spite of anybody who ever had anything negative to say about her. He would defend her, defend the situation, and that's how he's supposed to carry it. That's his girl. No matter what the case is, he's still supposed to defend her, right? Let's say maybe he already knows her style. He could be good with that. Maybe he's cool with, if that is her for real, what people think about her is true, maybe he's good with that. In this situation, it always just seemed so one-sided in public. It's like, how else would anybody look at it? One of the main things that stood out in my brain, though, I'm not gonna lie, the story of how when she wanted to go out to party, have fun or whatever, and he drove her to the location where it was, wherever it was, and he let her go in, do her thing while he sat in the car, waited for her till she was done, and then took her home. If that's 100% truthful, it's like, how can you not? How you can't help but to think something is wrong with the picture, right? And Travis do seem like he's a good brother, genuine dude. He seemed like he got a good heart and all of that. He seems so innocent. If everything was to go like how majority think it is, it would really be a crying shame because of the fact he could have avoided it and he don't deserve it. But I'm gonna say this, don't be so busy trying to spite the rest of the world, trying to prove something and all of this to the point you end up looking real crazy, even crazier than they look now. The prenuptial thing, that ain't got nothing to do with nobody else on the outside. That got to do with you. That was a young mistake. That comes off as a young mistake. But it just remains to be seen, man. Some folks is waiting on it to happen. And I'm definitely not a part of that clique. And I wish nothing but the best. I don't go around wishing bad on people. Hopefully the brother made the right choice. The young brother made the right choice. Because who wants to see this young kid with, all this promise, all this talent go out like that? Who really wants to see that? One thing for damn sure, the kid is intelligent. He got plenty of sense. He ain't no dummy. And I think that's why it comes off as such a shocker that he decided not to do the prenuptial thing. It's like, what would it have hurt to protect yourself and everything that you scratched, clawed, and fought for since you were a teenager? Everything that you worked for up to this point, up to right now, to protect all of that, to make sure that everything is good, whatever the case. What would that have really hurt, man? Because the first thing people figure, the first thing people are thinking, that she had a part to play in that. Maybe she put pressure on them. Oh, you're going to listen to them. You're going to listen to what everybody's been saying. You're going to listen to all this stuff that came out. You know me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love you. You love me. You don't need a prenup. You know what I mean? Hey, that's his decision. I'll just say, you being who you are, the stature that you have, the success that you have, and the success that's to come, love or not, at 22 years old, you have the right to want to protect yourself. I couldn't see that as a bad thing. I really feel his decision to not have a prenup done really has more to do with him just trying to prove other people wrong. That's like his middle finger to the rest of the world who say the things that they say. I'm not gonna say they talk down on her necessarily, because if you look at the stuff that if like I say, if you do your research, you're gonna look at it, you're gonna turn your head to the side a little bit about it. The dynamic comes off real iffy. Even if you wish them the best, you can't help but look at certain things like, why would she do that? Why? In public at that. There's definitely some questions. And out of all of this, with the not doing the prenup thing and everything leading up to it, you really just wonder what this kid family had to say. What does mom say? Pops or whatever, friends, family, all of this stuff. How are they looking at the situation? What kind of conversation did they have with this young man? And what was the conversation like? Even though he come off as that person who is going to do what he going to do and it's not going to make a damn difference. Best of luck to him, because I ain't no hater for one. I will say it's nothing wrong with being sensible, protecting yourself, especially at 22 years old. That's a very mistake-prone age right there. Sometimes, unfortunately, we don't believe that shit actually stinks until we hear a buzz in our ear, fam. Shout out to him and his wife. What else you gonna say? Thoughts, comments, opinions. Realest one gone.